Alright, today I'm going to do something pretty simple. Um, I had to set it up just a simple Apache PHP project or a LAMP stack um, for another project, and I thought I would just make a tutorial on it since I have the commands already. And pretty much this is going to be done to where potentially you could create a bash script which then could execute when you load the actual application. It would auto install all this stuff. So this is pretty much towards that direction, more than just copy paste command type thing. So to start off, so on Clusterify, there's the LAMP stack setup on Ubuntu. So this I will be doing it on Ubuntu, and if you can see, we have some commands here. If you get lost in the video. So what I'll go ahead and do is I have a fresh terminal or fresh copy of Ubuntu up and running, which I'll log into right now. So my IP address right now is 192.168.1.102. So that's my I'm running it currently on a VirtualBox system. So N2 is the copy that I'm actually currently running. So yours may differ, this IP address, and whatever it is at the end, when you run the test, you would be able to see. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the application, the actual install. So I know by default, Ubuntu can actually install this for you, the LAMP stack, but this kind of gives a tutorial how to install things. So what I'm going to do right now is, using the application manager that comes built into Ubuntu, I'm going to go ahead and update those sources. So make sure I have the most up-to-date versions of any applications which I'm going to install right now. Next, I will copy paste. So Debian front end non-interactive. So this, from my assumption, or at least from what I can come up with and what I can guess, is it disables any of the prompt-based commands that are, you issue a command in terminal and then it would prompt you yes or no install and all this other extra information. So this turns that off, at least for the MySQL installation. So right now you don't have MySQL, and that's a bit out of order. So what you want to do then is now install these list of packages. They are space delimited. So Apache's one, PHP one, MySQL Server's one, PHP MySQL, and this flag here is pretty much. So you have apt get install. You want the yes flag. I also want to do the Q flag for quiet, so it won't print out a bunch of extra stuff. Also the mod PHP for Apache, and some stuff for security for PHP. So if you notice, I don't have to do sudo at the front, and sudo means I can run with kind of extended privileges, so I can run this thing. But the reason so is I'm running under root, so that's the reason why. Root has the most powerful permissions, or at least it should have the most powerful permissions in whatever Ubuntu distro you're running. So I'll go ahead and execute that. So typically it would ask me, oh, do you want to, uninstall this information, and that's what this flag here, this Y does, like I mentioned earlier. It prevents the application to ask you all these extra questions. So essentially it should do this all by itself in the back end. It is going to take a while because I am actually downloading it. So at the end, pretty much we're going to create some PHP file, add it to var www so it's exposable to the lamp stack, and then we'll go ahead and navigate to that file to see if it actually works. So just to explain this PHP script, we're going to connect to the database. So PHP is interpreted on the fly when you call this page, info.php. Every single time you call it, anything in between these PHP tags, it gets interpreted into PHP code, which then is executed. So that could be dangerous, and that could be what you want, and that's essentially the basis of PHP. You could add a bunch of HTML stuff in here as well. Actually, not inside the PHP tags, but outside to accomplish whatever you want to render in the HTML page. Okay, so that went ahead and finished. So now we should have Apache installed as well as MySQL. So I am going to change using the MySQL admin command line app. For the root user, I'm going to change the password to mypass. And the way I'm going to test that is here. So using the MySQL client, for the username, which would be root, let's see, P, I'll enter the password, and that's the wrong password, so I'll go ahead and enter the right password. And now I have access. Show tables, show DB, databases. So those are the ones. So MySQL is one which we are going to be trying to select from. And if we can connect to the local host, because it's running on MySQL service, is running on that one service, with the root user and the given password, we'll go ahead and run and execute. Also, if we connect to the database, the MySQL database, then we can we'll print out this HTML page and make sure it actually works. Okay, so let's see, exit that. Now I'm going to, so there should be a var dev directory now. I'll go ahead and cd into that. So right now there's index.html, so cat index HTML. So this, it works, right? This is some HTML which then will be rendered when I go to that page. So what I'm going to do is do a service Apache restart. Okay, and it went ahead and restarted. So now I can go to my clients, 92.168.1.102, and that's the page we get. So if I vim into index.html, add some more HTML, this is an update, and I refresh the page, this is an update, so this gets rendered. So right now my web browser for my host computer is pinging into my virtual instance. This one is my virtual instance N2, which it's hitting this file, and then it's rendering that back to the page. So I'm using Apache. That's not using the MySQL, so what we're going to do is add that script here. And so I'll be calling it info.php, copy and paste. And you can use Nano or Vim or something like that, whatever text editor you're comfortable with. So now if I go to info.php, so I got my MySQL connection and also the PHP info. This command here renders a bunch of HTML about the current installation of PHP that you have, as well as a bunch of other environments. So that worked. So just to test that this is working. So I'm going to change to a non-existent user roots instead of roots and refresh the page. It should just hang. So access denied for roots, right? So I changed it. The validation or the authentication for the MySQL Connect failed. So then, thus we called the die command in PHP, and we get the error. Change it back to roots, and now I got my MySQL connection. So that's how you would do the LAMP stack. Then you would use something like Symfony or PHP or Cake PHP or E framework to develop some type of actual website. So cool. Hopefully that helps. All right, thank you.